Now bring it all together for us, Alex. So you are driving your PPC through different campaigns. You've got your click-through rates, your conversion rates, and your search query performance. And then obviously, you know which keywords you are bidding on. Give us the overall strategy of how to work these things together.
Sure. So the goal here is to get as high conversion rate as possible. Like this is the goal of PPC, to show Amazon, listen, this is good listing, people are buying, they are converting really well, and then the CPC will go down, so cost per click. So when Amazon sees that, okay, this is a good listing, people are buying, let's give him more traffic for cheaper because he earns money with every sale. So it makes sense for him to give us more impressions from PPC and from organic. And that way, like we look at strategically at these metrics to understand how the product performs in general, like strategically how Amazon sees the product, right? And the next thing is that how many impressions we get, right? And how many PPC is coming. And then we want to see the rankings. We want to see how our PPC impacts the organic rankings for the product. So it should go up over time, right? And and in general, then you just develop the next step in the semantic core. You take a little bit less relevant or more volume keywords, and you launch them, and then you launch the next step and the next step, and you optimize for that. And depending, of course, on the like, is it pre-season or season or post-season, it will be different. Every step will be a little bit different here.
So there is one other thing here. So we are going through this, and for our listeners, there is kind of a roadmap appearing to me. First of all, we have to check the number of keywords and what they are that we are bidding on. In other words, we're running paid ads on against what the search query performance report shows to get a list of the keywords. So right there, we are watching the keywords we are paying money on versus the keywords that are generating business for us. And if there are mismatches between them, you do something with it, right? So if there are keywords that are bringing you sales without even paying money on, imagine what would happen if you started bidding on them as well. Because clearly you're getting traffic, you are organically indexed for those, which is bringing you up. And then so start bidding on it and add more, so that way you can improve your conversion on it. So that's one thing. Equally, if you are bidding on keywords that are not yielding any orders, then you can start to reduce your spending on those. Now you will be more focused. That's one thing. The other thing that I'm hearing from you is you should track, ideally keyword by keyword, if not overall, what is the ratio between organic traffic and paid traffic compared to total traffic? If you're getting 1,000 clicks landing on your product page, how many of them are coming from paid? How many of them are coming from organic? That's also something you should track. And then also track your sales, paid versus organic. So that way you can get a judgment call, right?
Yeah, it's a good idea to track the most important stuff and don't get like inside of the like wood too much. For example, PPC sales and organic sales. These two metrics matter the most. Like, of course, you can have discrepancies between like impressions and sales, and you can solve that if you have this problem. But in general, just tracking the ratio between PPC and organic, and also ACOS, these three metrics gives the most like understanding what is going on. Because people usually track like TACOS, and ACOS, but seeing the low TACOS or seeing the high TACOS doesn't tell me what to do. Like, I don't understand. Is it like low TACOS? Does it mean I have a lot of profit? Does it mean I have a lot of sales? No, it doesn't. And also high TACOS doesn't mean like, where is the problem? Like, for example, I want to optimize my business right now. What should I do? So during the launch, like, it's good idea to keep, and maybe not only in the launch, we actually track like all the time these ratios between organic and PPC. And of course, during the launch, we will have like most of the sales coming from PPC, like maybe 80% and maybe 20% from organic. And over time, our goal is to shift slowly to like 60 by 40 or ideally 50 by 50, right? And then, yeah, these three metrics give us the most control and understanding in the strategy how we should do the next months and the next quarter.
Yeah. And how long is it before you reach that 50-50 level between paid and organic?
It depends on the product, like how high the margin is and how well it converts. If it's high converting and with good margins, we can shift this a lot sooner because we invest into organic and we get boost sooner, right? And if it's like the opposite situation, of course, we cannot afford this kind of speed, right? So we have to go slower, or we can say, let's invest. Let's just invest. We want to go quicker, but we cannot afford like high margins. We don't have high margins, but we are willing to invest. So like different strategies for different like sellers can go here.
Yeah. And I think this is the reason why you want to have that narrow focus on the keywords you want to target, right? So if you don't have a clear focus on what keywords you want to go after and how many, this cannot be like 100 keywords. You have to target maybe 15, 20 keywords and do really well with that. And I have seen with my clients directly within 6 weeks, we can reach about 40% organic on some keywords that they are targeting. So it's obviously constant work. You can do all the research and say, okay, there is so many, there's like 30,000 searches on this keyword, so therefore I'm going to go after this, and this one 18,000 searches, and then as soon as you pull the trigger, all bets are off, right? So those expectations don't, but other things happen. So then you very quickly need to pivot, and then within 6 weeks, I've seen 40% organic traffic. And then ultimately within 3 months, for sure, you should reach like 50%, if not more than 50%. Like I've seen 57, 61, 63% organic in 3 months. Is that also your experience?
Yeah, it's more like a typical case, and sometimes we can get sooner, maybe like in 1 month, sometimes later. Most of the times within 3 months we should be good. Like we should be able to achieve 50-50.
Yeah.